Good morning students. Welcome to the basics of civil engineering lecture classes. Today we are going to be discuss about on the lecture class that is number 5 on problems on compass surveying, that is conversion problems. So let me introduce myself first. So I am M. Hemant Kumar, assistant professor in civil engineering department from G. Pullareddy Engineering College. Right. So in our content lecture 5 problems on the compass surveying, so we will discuss some of the topics that is presented in the contents. The first one is conversion system or else conversion of bearing systems from whole circle bearing to reduced bearing. Next, second content will be same as the conversion bearing system from reduced bearing to the whole circle bearing. And last one is we will be discuss about the problems on both methods. Okay, right. Let me introduce about this one. This whole circle bearing and reduced bearing will become under the part of surveying subject. So in that surveying subject, compass surveying is one of an chapter. In this compass surveying, we are going to be discuss this whole circle bearing and reduced bearing, problems, conversions, everything. Okay, this entire theoretical concept of a surveying, this entire theoretical concept of a compass, instruments, components, experimental process will be explained by my co-faculty member Sri G. Nagesh Kumar. He is a senior assistant professor of civil engineering from G. Pullareddy Engineering College. And now I am going to be taking only the problematic part in this surveying chapter. Okay, right students. Well, now we will be start introduction. In compass surveying, we are going to be determine the traversing components. Okay, the traversing process, whether it may be closed to traverse or else it may be open traverse. So in that one, in compass survey, we are having two types of instruments. So one is nothing but prismatic compass. Another one is nothing but surveyor compass. If you people are calculating the entire area of your land, you people can use the prismatic compass or surveyor compass. So when you are going to be doing the determining the measurements, land measurements by prismatic compass, then the readings will be taken as by whole circle bearing. Okay, whole circle bearing. Bearing is nothing but which it presents the values. Okay, nothing but 90 degrees, 30 degrees, 40 degrees, 60 degrees. These are the bearing values which will become under the compass. Okay, whole circle means whether, the bearing will starts from 0 degrees, from north pole direction. Okay, from north, the 0 degrees will be present at north pole direction, and to the east pole it is 90 degrees. Okay, next when coming to east to south it is 90, nothing but entire from north to south pole it is 180 degrees. Okay, next from south to west it will be having 270 degrees. Okay, and last coming to the north pole finally 360 degrees. Okay, right. So this is the concept of a whole circle bearing. We will be take in prismatic compass concept. Okay, for example, if you are going to be determining the land area measurements by surveyor compass, so the surveyor compass will be going to be measure reduced bearing concepts. Okay, so in reduced bearing we are going to be taking only quadrant, nothing but in the x-axis and y-axis, first coordinate, second coordinate, third coordinate, fourth coordinate we will be discussed now. So in the first coordinate, nothing but north to east, next south to east, or else north to west or south to west. So like this we are going to be present to that reduced bearing. Only 90 degrees, up to 90 degrees only we will get to the readings, nothing but reduced bearing, or else we can call as a quadrant bearing system. So when we are going to be using the surveyor compass, okay, the theoretical all concepts will be discussed to my co-faculty member, and the problems we are going to be discussing. So before entering into the problematic part, just I'm giving a small brief explanation on whole circle bearing and the reduced bearing. Okay, when we are going to be taking that, or else when we are going to be determining the measurements of our land by the compass, which compass? Prismatic compass. Prismatic compass, the readings will become under whole circle bearing. Nothing but it will be starts from 0 to 90 degrees, 90 to 180 degrees, next 180 to 270 degrees, and 270 to finally 360 degrees. Nothing but in that compass, the needle will be rotated from the magnetic needle will be rotated from 0 degrees continuously, from 0 to 90, 90 to 180, 180 to 270, 270 to 360 degrees. That's why we are calling as a whole circle bearing system. When coming to the surveyor compass, if we are going to be using that reduced bearing, so it will be having only 90 degrees. From north to east, 90 degrees. Okay. From south to east, it is 90 degrees. Next, from south to west, it is 90 degrees. Okay. From north to west, it is 90 degrees. Okay, my dear students, only 90 degrees. Nothing but quadrant bearing system also we can call. Quadrant bearing system also we can call. Okay, just example, if we are doing the prismatic compass, but if we are measuring the area by using the prismatic compass, then the readings will become 240 degrees. Okay, where is the 240 degrees? Which lies in between south to west. Okay, from south to west direction, that is a 240 degrees. Okay, if we people are taking the readings from surveyor compass, you just see here reduced bearing, south 60 degrees west. Okay, south 60 degrees west, nothing but in between south to west direction, the 60 degrees line will be present here. Okay, my dear students, so this is the way of process we have to take the readings. Okay, right. Okay, right. So we will be discuss the next topic, conversion system. So the conversion system, for example, in a practical situation, if we have taken the readings from whole circle bearing, sorry, if we have took the readings from whole circle bearing, now I want to convert to the reduced bearing. Okay, how I have to convert the whole circle bearing value to the reduced bearing? Whole circle bearing, how it will become? If it is 180 degrees means, how this 180 degrees will be converted to the reduced bearing? Okay, there are some of the important table concepts were there. Nothing but conversions from reduced bearing to the whole circle bearing to the reduced bearing, and reduced bearing to the whole circle bearing. So we will be discussed now in this session. Okay, right. Now let us see a small tabular column which is conversion from whole circle bearing to reduced bearing. So this is the line, one of a column. In first column line, it contains OA line, OB line, OC line, and OD line. OA means nothing but it is an object line. Okay, OB is nothing but object line. OC and OD also it is an object line. Right. If that object line which it represents or which it presents in that whole circle bearing values. For example, if it is presenting as 170 degrees, okay, what is the reduced bearing value? How? Either we have to do plus 180 or also minus 180. We will be seen, right? If the object line, if the object line which will be presenting nothing but when we got the value in between, when we got the value of whole circle bearing in between 0 to 90 degrees, then it is converting into the reduced bearing, that is RB equals to WCB. Okay, right. If the object line is present in between 90 degrees to 180 degrees, Okay, then we have to be convert into reduced bearing, that is 180 degrees minus WCB, nothing but whole circle bearing. Okay, right. If the object line which presents in between 180 degrees to 270 degrees, okay, 180 degrees to 270 degrees, nothing but in third coordinate, then the reduced bearing, how it is going to be converting? Reduced bearing equals to WCB, nothing but whole circle bearing minus 180 degrees, right? And finally the object line OD is present. So not only the object line OD, if I got the object line OA, okay, if I got the object line OA which is 280 degrees, so how I have to be convert into the reduced bearing? Nothing but 360 degrees minus RCB. If I got the object line OB as 178 degrees, okay, 178 degrees means it is in between 90 to 180 degrees. If I got the value in between 190 degrees, then I have to take the condition reduced bearing equals to whole circle bearing minus 180 degrees. Okay, right. So if the object line OD or else OE, so not only the four objects lines, it may be having some number of lines. So the object line which is presenting in between 270 degrees to 360 degrees, then it is going to be converting from whole circle to reduced bearing, that is 360 degrees minus whole circle bearing. Okay, so these are the coordinates. If it is having 0 to 90 degrees, nothing but northeast direction. Okay, if the value is presenting in between 90 to 180 degrees, then it is southeast direction, in between south to east direction. Next, it is present when the degrees are present in 180 degrees to 270 degrees, nothing but it is present in southwest direction. Okay, and last one, if the value or else if the bearing value which presents in between 270 degrees to 360 degrees, it is presented in northwest direction. So this is the way of process. We have to convert the whole circle value, the whole circle bearing value into the reduced bearing. Okay, right. Now we will see the conversion system from reduced bearing to the whole circle bearing. Simple. In previous concept we have discussed about the we have discussed about the conversion system on whole circle bearing to reduced bearing. Now we will see the conversion system from reduced bearing to the whole circle bearing. Same little bit. Okay, right. If the line OA which presents in between northeast direction, okay, then how it is going to be converting? Nothing but whole circle bearing is equals to reduced bearing. Next, if the value or else if the object line which it presents in southeast direction, okay, it is present in between southeast direction, then it is going to be converting into the whole circle bearing as WCB equals to 180 degrees minus RB. Okay, when discussing or else when learning these tabular concepts, we will having some small little bit doubts or else some small little bit confusion. But when we have involved into the problematic part, it will be very easy technique is available. We will be discuss that technique in this session. Okay, right. If the object line OC which it presents in between south and west, so nothing but alpha is the bearing value, which is presenting southwest direction, then we have to be convert into whole circle bearing as 180 degrees plus reduced bearing. Okay, and finally if the object line OD which is presenting in between north to west direction, it is to be converting as whole circle bearing equals to 360 degrees minus reduced bearing. Okay, so finally the coordinates will be looking like this. Okay, right. For example, sometimes north 30 degrees east, south 30 degrees east, south 30 degrees west, and south north 30 degrees west. Like this they will be asked, okay, in question. So how we have to do? I will tell now. See, for example, my dear students, now the first one is north 30 degrees east. Nothing but let us draw a directions. North, this is east, west and south. Okay, so north 30 degrees. So it should be start from north. South 30 degrees. It should be start from south, but not from east or west. So nothing but 0 degrees will be start in north direction, and another 0 degrees will be start from south direction. Remaining 90 degrees at east and 90 degrees at west. So that's why we are taking as reduced bearing or else quadrant bearing values. Right. Now we will be see the first one, north 30 degrees east. So the 30 degrees bearing value which is presenting in between north and east. So we will be place one of a protractor. So we will just measure where is the 30 degrees from 0 to here. Okay, this is 30 degrees. Okay, my dear students. Next, south 30 degrees east. Okay, my dear students, south 30 degrees east. From south to east we have to take. So nothing but again we have to keep the protractor here. We have to measure where is the 30 degrees line and mark it. Just you join here. This is the 30 degrees. Okay. Next, when coming to the south 30 degrees west. So in between the 30 degrees, it is presenting in between south to west direction. Again, you just mark where is the 30 degrees point. You just mark here. It should be get from south onwards, not from the west onwards. Okay, the 0 will start from north direction and the 0 will be start from south direction. So nothing but our earth is there now, globe. So where is a meridian will tell nothing but north pole and south pole, where 0 to 180 degrees, that is nothing but whole circle. When we are going to be taking that in a surveyor compass, it is going to be present 0 degrees at north direction, one more 0 degrees at south direction. So remaining 90 degrees at east, 90 degrees at west. So like that, these conditions, the values will become like this. Okay, so this is 30 degrees. Okay, my dear students. And last one, north 30 degrees. Again, we have to present the protractor from north to onwards. You have to measure where is that 0, 10, 20, 30. Right. You just join like this. 30 degrees. Okay, now you have understood, sir. If in the question, if they given same value 30 degrees, 30 degrees, 40 degrees, 40 degrees, how we have to draw? So you just refer what the directions they have presented here. Okay, my dear students. Right, now we will move further concept. Okay, I hope that you people have understood the conversion system from WCB to reduced bearing. WCB means whole circle bearing to reduced bearing, and conversion system from reduced bearing to the whole circle bearing. Right. Now we will see one of a problem. So convert the following whole circle bearing values to the reduced bearing values. See here, the object line, what he given, OA, it is having 38 degrees 30 minutes. Okay, next object line 142 degrees 15 minutes. Next, the object line OC 248 degrees 45 minutes. Next, the object line OD, that is 325 degrees and 30 minutes. So now these are the whole circle bearing values. Sir, how we know this is the whole circle bearing values? Because it started from 0 degrees onwards, slowly, continuously, it is going to be taking that values. So not from quadrant, nothing but you just refer here, all the bearing values are not presented in between 90 degrees. Okay, all the values are presenting more than 90 degrees, more than 100, more than 180 degrees, more than 270 degrees also. So that's why this is the whole circle bearing values. We have to convert in reduced bearing values. Okay, for reference purpose, I have took a small table which I have discussed in previous slide. Okay, right students. Step 1. The given data, the whole circle bearing of OA is 38 degrees 30 minutes. So let us take the directions north, east, south and west and draw the 38 degrees 30 minutes from north onwards. Okay. Okay. This is the 38 degrees 30 minutes. Okay. So now we have to be calculate. So nothing but reduced bearing equals to WCB. So you just see the condition where the value, the bearing value which is in presenting in between 0 to 90 degrees. So that's why our bearing value, it is representing in presented as 0 to 90 degrees as 38 degrees 30 minutes. So nothing but the reduced bearing is equals to whole circle bearing. Okay, my dear students. See, when presenting into the reduced bearing, we have to present that directions also. So in which direction it is presenting? From north to east, my dear students. Okay, you see here. See, the object line bearing 38 degrees 30 minutes. From where? From 0 to 38 degrees means it is presenting from north and east direction. So that's why the reduced bearing is having north 38 degrees 30 minutes east direction. Okay. Next, step 2. So nothing but the whole circle bearing of object line OB, he have given 148 degrees 15 minutes. So that the 142 degrees 15 minutes, in which direction it will become? It is presented in between 90 degrees to 180 degrees, my dear students. So here we have to take from north to 142 degrees. Okay, we will see now. First to take the direction. See, this is the object line OB. This is the object line OB which is presenting 142 degrees 15 minutes. See, and what is the reduced bearing? So we have to be calculate 180. So see here, it is in presenting 90 to 180 degrees. No, nothing but 180 minus 142 degrees 15 minutes. Okay, sorry, 15 minutes. So in this 180, if we remove this 142 degrees 15 minutes, we will get the reduced bearing value. So what is the reduced bearing value? We will see. Nothing but the reduced bearing value is 37 degrees 47 minutes from south to east direction. Okay, I think you people have understood. See here, the formula I have applied for reduced bearing 180 degrees minus WCB. So what is the WCB value? He have given 142 degrees 15 minutes. Here no need to refer the table also, my dear students. You people can refer only the diagram part. The diagram part, it gives the correct point and the correct visionary value. Okay, right. We will see next to two values. Next, step 3. The given WCB, nothing but whole circle bearing of object line OC, is 248 degrees 45 minutes. So first take the directions north, east, west, south. So where the 248 degrees 45 minutes, it will become in between south and west. How, sir, you are telling? Nothing but in south 180 degrees will be there, in west 270 degrees will be there. But in our question, what he given the whole circle bearing value? 248 degrees 45 minutes, which will be present in between 180 to 270 degrees. So from north to here, how much the value? 248 degrees 45 minutes. Okay, so we have to remove. Okay, right, we have to be remove plus. See, okay, 360. See, the calculation point minus 180. Okay, my dear students, from 248 degrees 45 minutes minus 180, if we have to do, we will get the 68 degrees 45 minutes. So nothing but it is presented in between southwest direction. We have to present the reduced bearing value is south 68 degrees 45 minutes west direction. Okay, and last, fourth one, the whole circle bearing value of OD, object line OD, is 325 degrees 30 minutes, which exceeds the 270 degrees. Okay, so first draw the directions and north, east, west, south, and check where the 325 degrees 30 minutes will become in between 270 degrees to 360 degrees. So here in between it will become. So we have to check from here to here. Okay, now you people just observe here. Okay, see, that is a 325 degrees 30 minutes. Now we have to remove from whole circle bearing, that is 360 degrees. See, so 360, in 360 degrees, if I have removed that to 325 degrees 30 minutes, so then I will get the reduced bearing value is 34 minutes, sorry, 34 degrees 30 minutes. So it should be represented as reduced bearing is north 34 degrees 30 minutes west direction. Okay, so this is the problem for conversion of whole circle bearing to the reduced bearing. Next, second problem we will be see. So convert the following reduced bearings to the whole circle bearing. So in just observe, from whole circle to reduced bearing, how the values they have given. 38 degrees 30 minutes, next 142 degrees 15 minutes, next 248 degrees 45 minutes, and next one 325 degrees 30 minutes. When coming to the reduced bearing to the whole circle bearing, how the values they have given? See, north 46 degrees 30 minutes east direction, north 60 degrees 30 minutes in west direction, south 80 degrees 0 minutes in east direction, south 20 degrees 0 minutes in west direction. You people have just to observe all the bearing values are in between 0 to 90, 0 to 90. So that's why this is the quadrant bearing system. Okay, my dear students, now we will solve the problem now. Step 1. The given reduced bearing of object OA line is north 46 degrees 30 minutes east. So first draw the direction line diagram. So north, east, west, south, and where north direction and east direction, what is the 46? Where is the 46? In between north and east direction. You just draw like that. Okay. See, from north onwards we have to get 46 direction, 46 degrees 30 minutes. Now the RB, nothing but whole circle bearing, is equals to, sorry, the reduced bearing is equals to whole circle bearing. Okay, now we will see the calculation part. This is the part. Okay, my dear students, see, the whole circle bearing which should be present as 46 degrees 30 minutes. Now we will see for the second problem. Okay, sorry, second concept, north 60 degrees 30 minutes west. So how the value will come, we will see now. The given reduced bearing value of OB object line, north 60 degrees 30 minutes west. So draw the direction line diagram. Okay, from north we have to take the 60 degrees. This is the 60 degrees. Okay, 60 degrees 30 minutes. See, so 325 degrees 180, sorry, 325 degrees 130 degrees is the nothing but whole circle bearing. So what is the calculation part? So 360 degrees minus RB. Okay, we can refer here also. Okay, my dear students. And next one, step 3. Okay, the step 3 is the given reduced bearing of OC value is south 80 degrees 0 minutes for east direction. So draw the direction line diagram. So from south to east, draw the 80 degrees. Take the 80 degrees and draw the object line OC. So that is 80 degrees from south to onwards to north east direction. See, okay, from 180 degrees to minus 80 degrees he did. So 180 degrees minus 80 degrees. So what is the whole circle bearing? 100 degrees 00 minutes, my dear students. Right. See, okay. And last thing, the given reduced bearing of OD object line south 20 degrees west direction. So first draw the direction line diagram. So where the 20 degrees will come, either in northeast or northwest or southeast or southwest. In our question he have mentioned south to west direction. From south to west direction, just to draw the 20 degrees. Okay, my dear students. So 20 degrees remaining. So 180 degrees plus 20 degrees. So that is the 200 degrees is whole circle bearing problem. Okay. Thank you, my dear students. So this is our lecture 5 class. Thank you so much.